Good morning, Handsome. I'm Oliver Ray Alaron. I'm here in my home estate kitchen. On today's episode, Friends with Bennies. So today I'm going to be making something that I first created when I was in a cabin with my mom and my sister, and it's not what you're thinking. It was Mother's Day, and I wanted to do something really special. Again, not what you're thinking. Well, let's be honest, women love hollandaise. They love fat. They love cheesecake because it's just cream cheese. They love avocado and the movie Up for some reason. So I have no avocado in this recipe and we're not watching Up. But other than that, I think this is really good for a date, you know, breakfast in bed. Let's say you take a girl home, you wake up, but you can't afford brunch in Vancouver, it's fucking expensive. You know, or let's say you don't want to be caught in public with her because she's not as attractive as you thought she was the night before. Or you really like her, you want to show her something special. So we're gonna do an eggs benny today. We're gonna do it on a croissant with prosciutto, jalapeno mango, and we're gonna do a lime and champagne hollandaise. I think it's gonna be a nice dish. It's really simple to do. A fucking idiot could make it, clearly. I'm gonna get going and show you guys how I make this. And it by no means will be a professional chef's version of this dish because I just pulled it out of my ass. Okay, so first things fucking last here, we wanna do a reduction, and that's for the hollandaise. So there's a million different ways to make hollandaise. If you work with a French asshole chef, he'll say you're going rogue when you try to make it your own way. What bothers me about brunch, aside from the fact that it costs you the price of a fucking human being in some countries, you could literally buy a human being for the amount it costs for two people to go for brunch in Vancouver.
Maybe lay off the human trafficking comment.
I'm not condoning human trafficking at all. Good Morning Handsome does not support human trafficking in any way. So you can make hollandaise a million different ways. You switch it up depending on the dish that I'm making. Now, champagne lime hollandaise sounds fancy. You can fucking brag about it. Ooh, champagne lime hollandaise. This isn't champagne. And let's be honest, the bubbles don't fucking matter because you're reducing it. But you know what else girls really like, or you know, whoever really likes, is mimosas in the morning because it's an excuse to get drunk. You know, you pull this out of your ass and then you can get them a little sauced up in the morning, maybe hit that back end bang, you know what I'm saying? So let's do this. My thumbs are all chubby. There we go. Pop this shit off. Now don't poke her in the eye with this, right? You do this in bed, you're like, hey, wake up, ah, yeah. Pop her in the eyeball, you don't want to do that. We're just gonna go glug, glug, glug. Now, we're not making mimosas today. I gotta drive out of here. Just kidding, I don't have a driver's license. But we're gonna put the whole thing in here. Okay, so if you look, there's some bubbles in here. Tiny bubbles in the wine. You wanna reduce it by maybe 2/3, let's say that. This is how much the bubbles have settled. You can add really whatever you want to a reduction. So I got some chives, I got some mint, I got some thyme. Here's some watercress. That's fresh though. We don't wanna put that in a reduction. Just some aromatics. We're gonna put some thyme in here. Boom, sprig of thyme, there you go. You know what, some chives, why not? Add a little bit of an oniony with a hard G, oniony. Then, you know what, I'm gonna put some mint, and this is just, you know, to round out the flavors a bit. I don't know what that means, that's just a term people say. A couple bay leaves. These add up to whatever you're making, apparently. Little sprinkle of chili. Now, you don't wanna go too hard on this if you woke up next to a white chick because mayonnaise is fucking spicy to them. So, some peppercorns. Do they release their flavor if you don't open them up? I don't know, but I put them in there because that's what some asshole told me to do a long time ago. And you know, out of habit, you memorize some shit, right? Now, I'm using shallots in my dish, in my habanero mango, a little saute, but I'm gonna throw a shallot into my reduction. Just gonna chop the ends off. If you notice, I'm using a bullshit KitchenAid knife. Now, you can buy a $300 knife and it's folded, it's Japanese steel, it's folded, it looks great. Or you can just use your bullshit KitchenAid knife that your brother got for some Christmas before his fucking marriage went tits up. And, and the key is know how to sharpen your knife. This is truing the blade, this doesn't sharpen your knife. If your knife isn't sharp, this won't help you. But I took this to a stone last night and it's good enough to hack off my pudgy ass finger. So, we got our shallot. My hand, look at how shaky my hands are from coffee. This is kind of like a little mini-me onion mixed with garlic. I don't know what it's like, it's in between onion and garlic banged, and this is the offspring. Now, I realize I don't have a garbage. Oh, you know what? I can just throw it in here. We'll just remember to clean that out.
Yeah, or not.
For reductions, you don't really need to worry about cutting anything fine, you know, or amounts. You just throw shit in there. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a bit of the jalapeno, and I want to take the seeds out because, again, white girls are the only ones dumb enough to bang me and they think this shit is spicy. Okay, so I'm taking half of a jalapeno. Get a rough chop, right? Doesn't matter, real rough. Boom. That might be spicy. Well, fuck it, you know? I'm gonna add a little bit more of this. And that's looking good. That's looking like a good start to the reduction. We're gonna put this on the burner. Let's see here. Let's hope my pilots work. This one does not work. All right, we're gonna use the back burner. I'm gonna turn this oven on to warm the croissants. Oh, it smells like gas.
Yeah, it does smell like gas.
Yeah, one time I went into a kitchen to clean it because we were taking it over, and the gas had been on all night in the oven, and this panel, as soon as I turned the oven on, this whole panel ripped off of the screws. It ripped and it stabbed into the wall, and I fucking matrixed that shit.
By watching this video, you hereby agree to waive any and all claims for property damage, personal injury, and or any other loss against Oliver Ray Aileron or Good Morning Handsome Holdings Incorporated.
So I'm just putting my oven on low for the croissants. You see, you take a dirty pot from your kitchen, doesn't matter. It's just for eggs. Fill it up here.
What is this
Hmm?
Does it say Coachella?
Oh yeah, it says Coachella. Coachella changed my life. Here's what we got, just a pot of water. Fucking real exciting, right? I have apple cider vinegar, but usually I use white vinegar. This is just what I had. Doesn't really matter. A little bit different of a flavor. Just add a little glug to your water. Not too much. You don't want fucking salt and vinegar eggs. Apparently it helps the egg kind of stay together. Is that true? Look it up. You're already on the fucking internet, dummy. Get that water boiling. Yeah, only the back burners work here. This is great. I need a fucking lighter. I usually have my chefs cooking for me. Oh, I know what to do. It's a little secret I learned in NAM. Your pilot's not working. Woo, there we go. Use paper to light it. That's my big secret. So there, you got some small bubbles going on. For hollandaise, you can use clarified butter. You can use regular whole butter. I'm using butter from Walmart. I bought all this shit from Walmart. Are we endorsed by Walmart? No. You all hungry for butter? You come home in the middle of the night, you want to eat butter? This is how you actually unwrap a brick of butter, so you don't have to pick at it like fucking pulling underwear out of your butt crack. Some nice Walmart butter. Is this salted? It's salted, so take that into account when you're making your fucking sauce. Don't be an idiot. I'm gonna use half this pound of butter because if there's extra butter, you just add it in there. It's what's called butterball that ass up. Now we're gonna get a...
Why is it all that?
It's a pretty fun game you can play in the kitchen. I don't know if it's legal, if you could get charged for it, but you pick one of the service staff, and every time she'd order food from me, I would put a shitload of butter in it. Not like a French amount, like a fucking like disgusting like movie popcorn amount of butter. And you can just watch them grow. As I'm saying this, I realize there's maybe some legality against that. The reason people pay more money in a restaurant for food is because there's more butter in it and more salt, and they think that that's the reason the fucking dude cooking the food is so great. He's not. He was just heavy-handed with the bullshit. That half pound of butter, I'm gonna get that melting. There's three different components to butter. There's the cream at the bottom, there's the actual clarified fat in the middle, and then there's the fucking bullshit on the top. So you wanna melt the butter, then you can pour it into a cup, whatever you want. Like I'm gonna use a measuring cup, and then you can watch the butter separate. You skim the top off, and you use the clarified stuff for your hollandaise, and you throw that cream away, because that's gonna thin out your sauce. So I got my butter here. I'm gonna use a little bit more. Just kidding. Throw that in the pan here, and this is gonna be for my saute. Now this combination, I just kind of pulled out of my ass because I wanted something fruity. It was Mother's Day at the time.
Fruity out of my ass.
Pull something fruity out of my ass. Yeah, that. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic in my reduction too, which I forgot to do because, you know, it's the crack of dawn here at the Aileron estate. Because I'm using this for my reduction, it doesn't need to be fancy. I'm gonna squish it a little bit so that peel comes off a little easier. All right. Now, do you need to add garlic to your reduction? No. You could just straight up reduce wine with nothing in it. But I like to think all these little differences, little nuanced flavors are just gonna make all of her taste buds fire. And that's a pun intended. Some little squished cloves, throw it in there. Give them a little, there you go. Release that flavor there. 2 is good, you know, simply discard. All right, now. Simply discard. So what we're gonna get sauteing is shallots, mango. Now I got this fresh mango after going to Walmart and getting frozen mango because their mangoes sucked. You can use whatever you have, but first I'm gonna do shallots. Here's how I cut a shallot. If you go to some fucking Gordon Ramsay bullshit, he might tell you you're being an asshole. Well, he's an asshole, so fuck him. This is how my boy Guy Fieri probably fucking does it, because he's the fucking man. I just get this boiled, it's nice and melted, so I'm just gonna keep that off the heat there. It's got enough residual heat that it's gonna stay melted. until I need it. We're gonna take these shallots, I'm just gonna slice them like this. The little shitty ends, simply discard. My jalapeno, I'm not gonna use the seeds, all right? So how do you scrape the seeds out? Just do whatever you want, all right? Here, this way, I'm just taking a little spoon. I'm taking them out like that, simply discard. I really should have had a garbage. And you know what? I'm gonna do another half. I'm gonna keep the seeds on this one, okay? So put them together, you can stack them, you can not stack them, I don't give a shit how you cut them. You wanna make sure to cut part of your fingernail off too, so it goes into the food. There you go, cut some jalapeno. Those little end bits, they don't look nice in the saute. Get rid of them. You know what? I'm gonna put some garlic in there too. Why the fuck not? I'm gonna show you guys how to slice garlic. You'll see some internet tips on how to peel garlic. Just peel the fucking garlic. Don't use a garlic press, that's an asshole move. I'm gonna use 2 cloves of garlic. Again, there's no recipe for any of this shit. Cooking is about having the confidence to just make the move and then you put it in the food. And if it tastes fucking weird, then you change it afterwards to make it taste better. If you just follow recipes, then when you come into problems, you're fucked. You don't know how to get out of them. So I got 2 cloves of garlic here. I'm just gonna slice them real thin. You can slice them together or separate. Now you wanna make sure that you're paying attention to the knife so you don't chop your fingers off, right? I got some garlic, I got some shallots. I got some jalapeno, right? I got some mango. This is a fairly ripe mango. It's got a little mushy overnight. I got a little mushy overnight, honestly.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Here's how I cut a mango. You know where the pit's gonna be? You can kind of suss it out right along the line of the pit. Yeah, here we go. Right, so you got these 2. This is great to snack on for later, but I'll show you what I do with these. I'm making little incisions. If you say incisions, it sounds kind of grosser than just making little cuts. Okay, so little incisions into the side of the mango. And I'm gonna turn those little incisions into little cubes. Little cubes. Now, you see like this bullshit that's going on? So that looks like the fucking Inception City or whatever. And it's just sort of like filleting a fish here. This stuff, simply discard. We don't need that frozen bullshit. I just thought if there wasn't enough of this, we could use the frozen bullshit. Slice it in half so that way you don't have that peak, and fillet that bullshit. There you go. Slice, slice, slice. Now, you might want to saute this stuff all separately. I don't care. I'm gonna do it all at once. I'm in a hurry. I gotta go to work. Just kidding, I don't have a job. Okay. So then the little side pieces, not the one in your bed, no pun intended. Take these little side pieces, do the same real quick. Now you got your little mix here. Let's put this in a fucking dish. This is your topping for the Benny, all right? We're gonna put this aside. We're not gonna start that yet because we wanna get our hollandaise going. Okay, how's our reduction doing? I'm gonna melt more butter. Okay. So there's components to hollandaise, usually white wine reduction or white wine vinegar reduction. I don't have white wine vinegar, I'm using champagne. There's a citrus element that you wanna use, right? Usually it's lemon. I'm gonna use lime. The lemon, I'm gonna show you how I get the zest off the lemon. The yellow and the green for the zest makes a nice little garnish to finish and adds some real fresh citrus components to the dish. Then here, if you don't have these knife skills, then just use a zester, whatever. I like to do this because this is how you would spruce up the dish a little bit, let's say. I'm gonna do that a few more times. Take the majority of the lemon out first, then push it down. Try to flatten it as you go. That's gonna help you get that white off a lot easier. And you're just skimming the top till you get all the white off. This knife is dull now. This is why you buy a good knife. I take back everything I said. Get yourself a good knife. I can't afford one. I have these 2 lemon rinds, reserving the meat of the lemon to add the fresh citrus element to our hollandaise. All right, now take your rind. You're gonna slice it like this. I roll it up. Real thin. Now you have this nice, strong lemon zest. That's big citrus flavor. I'm gonna do the same thing with the lime. Take the meat out. These ones are a bit trickier because they got a tougher white membrane here. If that's a membrane, I don't know if it is. KitchenAid knife, like it's supposed to make fucking mixes, not knives. Now I got my citrus. Now we're not gonna show this. I'm gonna add the rest of this wine to add it. Well, we're not gonna show this because I kind of over-reduced the wine, so that's fine.
So you don't want people to...
I don't want people to know that I fucked up because I'm supposed to be an expert chef. Citrus boys here. So you want to juice the limes and the lemons. That's pretty cool. You grab a spoon, you grab whatever your citrus is, you fucking manhandle all this citrus. This is how you figure out if you got tiny little cuts on your fingers and it hurts, or hangnails and shit, you know? Get all that lime blood out of there. Oh, I didn't put on deodorant this morning. Woo, that's right. This is an excessive amount of citrus. I'd say you're probably good. 1 lemon, 2 lemons. See that nice fresh citrus? Yeah, all right. You don't want to get a seed in your fucking sauce, so you strain out your citrus. Use your dirty fingers to smush that pulp down. Okay. Now, this is gonna be hot, so don't grab that with your hands. Here we go. See this nice reduction? I'm gonna strain that so I don't get any fucking bullshit. Pure gold here. Now, you can't smell, not with current technology, you can't smell through YouTube, but if you could, you'd be coming over to my estate for fucking breakfast, I'll tell you that much. The little bird buddies, little treasures, little chicken treasures, all right? Where did I get these eggs from? These are farm fresh organic eggs from grain-fed chickens. They're from Walmart. Now, when you're making your hollandaise, there's ratios you can listen to. I don't listen to ratios, okay? Crack the egg, you want the yolk. You don't want the white? There you go. I use my dirty fucking hands. Clean your hands, wash your hands. You simply play a little fucking toss, you know, like your dad never did with you with a football, and that's why you act this way. You do that with the little yolk. Don't break the yolk, you know, get all the white out. Slide that little chicken treasure into the fucking bowl here. Now what you want to do is get raw egg yolk all over your cutting board. Look at that, little back and forth, little toss. For this amount of hollandaise, I would use 3 yolks, but guess what? The more yolk you use, the easier it is to stabilize that hollandaise. The problem with hollandaise in restaurants is they're so worried it's gonna split. You got some dumbass, you know, was up all night. He's gotta cook for too many fucking people. He hates his fucking life, he wants to kill himself, he drinks too much, and he's making hollandaise with like,
Wait, who are you describing?
every fucking person that cooks brunch, okay? Brunch should be a prison sentence in most countries. So what they do with their hollandaise, they add way too much egg yolk and butter and no citrus. It just tastes like fucking butter and egg, and nobody likes that. I'm gonna use 4 yolks. I'm gonna use 5 yolks. Now what you wanna do is you wanna temper the yolk. So that means you wanna get it whisking, and you wanna put it under heat. So I'm using my poaching water as a double boiler so I can not get direct heat on my yolk, because you don't wanna scramble the yolk. Over the heat, always be moving, always moving. You want this to start forming ribbons, all right? These are ribbons you win when you run a race for some sick kid. These are just ribbons that your yolk will create, and that's tempering it so when you add other elements, it's not gonna break. So you're basically cooking it without actually cooking it. You wanna pump a bunch of air in there, get those fucking egg yolk queefs going on. That's gross. I'm doing this a bit backwards. My butter is melted. I'm gonna pour it into a measuring cup. You see that bottom there? That's the cream element of the butter. That's gonna thin out your hollandaise. Okay, so this stuff, we don't like that, right? Simply discard. Oh shit, sorry bro. Look at all these beautiful elements here. Ooh, that's hot. And whisk, 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 whisk. Get that fucking jerk off forearm going. Whisk it up. Now what I do is I do a nice balance of reduction and butter. Reduction, butter. I save most of my fresh citrus at the end to adjust the thickness and the citrus amount. Now this is the traditional way that you emulsify your sauce. Sometimes I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna show you how to cheat, and some people will be like, hey, you cannot do that. You know, whatever, fuck them. If you know what you're doing, you paid too much money for culinary school, you're gonna freak out. But guess what? You're a little bitch. You wasted your money. I'm gonna use one of my favorite tools here. I need a little container for that. Oh, yeah, 1 liter. You pour your yolk. This is cheating, but who cares? Beautiful. Okay, so I got my yolk, right? This is my favorite fucking toy to use in a kitchen. All right. This will fuck up anything you want. You can make smoothies with it. You can make sauces with it. Toilet garburator. Boom, boom. There you go. And this is gonna get your fucking egg yolk emulsify real quick. I'm adding my reduction to the egg yolk as I'm forming ribbons. Get it spitting up. If this is too thin, then once you add your butter, it's still gonna be too thin. Make sure your yolk is thick first. This will ensure that that fucking nice butter blanket comfortably encases your little chicken treasure on your Benny. I'm gonna add some melted butter, slowly. Don't dump it in there, you fucking idiot. Don't be dumb. If it starts to turn into mayonnaise, you wanna add more liquid. So it's a balance, right? That's a good thickness. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my reduction. Now I add my more butter. That's looking good. More butter. Put about that ace up. Put about that ace up. Now I'm almost done my butter and I'm finished my reduction incorporation. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh citrus in there. I think if you're gonna put it on the dish, it should really stand out. You know, make your taste buds jump up and down. Don't get any of that cream at the bottom of the butter there. Let's make sure to reserve that. Beautiful. And that's it. You make this fucking little kitchen toy do all the work for you. Here comes the splash. Oh shit. So I'm really happy. You can use your finger. If nobody's looking, if somebody's looking, you're in an open kitchen, use a little spoon. My citrus level is perfect. Now that's citrus before you add any salt. I'm gonna adjust seasoning for this now. Glug, 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 glug. See that? Beautiful. I don't add black pepper. It's not a racial thing. If I have white pepper, I'll add white pepper because that's not gonna take away from the nice color of the hollandaise. Black pepper here, again, I'm just as good with black pepper as white pepper. But for now, I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna add some salt. This is kosher salt. This whole meal is kosher, so you can make it at home for Passover, whatever you want. I'm gonna add a little pinch of chilies. I'm gonna add a little tiny smidgen more of fresh citrus. Thin it out just slightly. Use my little troll finger here, a little sneaky digit. God damn, that's good. Hollandaise is done. Keep it somewhere where it's not gonna get too cold, right? I'm gonna put it right next to my oven here. There we go. Get my pan hot. You see that cream in that butter? That was solid butter. That's a bit maybe too much butter for how much shit I'm sauteing. So what you do is called the classic ollie reduction. That's where you reduce something a bit by dumping a little bit of it in the garbage. Okay, get your pan hot. Get it sizzling, get it sauteing. While we're getting this pan hot, I got my little dish here, my little baking sheet. I got these beautiful fresh baked croissants from the local bakery, Walmart. Got them from Walmart. Butter is hot. I got my little mix here, my little saute mix. Here we go. Whoa, spill it all over the fucking place. That's what you want to do. Who gives a fuck, right? I got this sauteing on a high heat.
This plastic container's so close to the fucking...
Yeah, maybe don't do that. We want to season this a bit. I'll show you guys a little technique to give it the old Oliver Aileron. That's when you, 1 pinch salt, 1 pinch pepper. See that? I got salt between these two, pepper between these two. It's twice as fast, and then you can season.
You really save a lot of time.
Oh, you save a fraction of a second. Check it out. Salt, pepper, sprinkle. Boom. Right? Okay, now we're gonna get on the croissants. Dirt fucking cheap. I think they're like 60 cents a fucking piece. I'm just gonna skim the top off of these croissants. Beautiful. Then you have a little piece of the croissant here. You're already hungry. You've been slaving away in the kitchen all day. Don't let this shit burn. Start turning that fucking shit. Oh, beautiful. Normally, I would have a bit of the wine left over, or have some wine around the kitchen that I would toss in here and cook off the alcohol. I'm not gonna do that. I have a brutal gluten allergy, so we gotta finish this up real quick. We got our croissants now. Don't overcook your croissant. It's already cooked. You don't want it to turn to shit. Now, let's take a second. Let's look at this. Yeah. A little bit of color. All right, spit little bits of food into the dish while you're making it because you're eating while you're cooking. This is what you get when you work in restaurants, hepatitis. I'm gonna put it in here so it cools down, doesn't keep cooking. If you get any brown garlic like that, that's bitter. Right, hot, right into the plastic. I got some prosciutto here, and of course they sliced it too thick. Actually, this isn't too bad, tender enough. You want as thin as you can get. Nice little wraps. I'm gonna go fat on the outside, doesn't really matter. Along the croissant, like this. Croissant for daddy. Get some height on there. I mean, fruit and cured meat always goes good together, right? And eggs go great with everything. Weird thing, women just love brunch so much, even though they already have a bunch of eggs already around in their bellies all the time. I'm not sure how the female anatomy works, but I'm pretty sure they already have a bunch of eggs floating around. Make a nice little meat rainbow. That's what we're calling these. This prosciutto fucking sucks. This is our base for the bedding. We're not gonna put these in yet, because they take literally like fucking 30 seconds. Just wanna warm it up. If you overcook the prosciutto, it's already cooked, it's already cured, it's gonna get tough. Whoa. I almost slipped on a fucking mango peel. This is great. Get a slotted spoon, get whatever, who fucking cares. How do you poach an egg? You coddle the egg. Here's how I poach an egg. Get a nice swirl going. A little lazy river for this little chicken treasure, right? Crack the egg, place right at the base of the water. Open them up, go see your friends. Wolonk. Always poach an extra egg because you fuck them up. Poach a few extra eggs. Don't overcook your eggs. You don't want the fucking white still undercooked, but you want it to be nice and soft. You don't want a hard-boiled egg at a Benny, which you get when you go out for brunch and spend $50 fucking. Little prosciutto. These go in the oven like a minute. So test your eggs. You want a little bit of give on them. Place them into a bowl. There's gonna be a bad side of the egg and a good side of the egg. Always look on the bright side of the egg, okay? Some people believe the egg is a symbol of the soul. That's from Angel Heart. Great movie. Check that out. Croissants. Put the hot metal on the plastic cutting board. Nice and soft. It's warmed up. Now, before we do this, we're gonna fancy it out by doing a nice little bitchy ass looking apple fan. There we go. Cut the apple right along the line of the core, right? That, don't get any of the core in there, like I just did, okay?
Fucking mango peel's still on the floor over there, dude.
Okay, get some knife skills going on. You slice as many thin slices as you possibly can. Fan it out. Use all your greasy fucking troll fingers. Twist it out like a little fucking Tim Burton staircase here, okay? Nice little apple fan. What are you putting on a plate? A fucking 50-cent apple. There we go. Here's our apple fans. We're ready to plate. We burnt these. No, we didn't. Okay, great. Perfect. Now, place the croissants. Use your fingers. I always use my fucking fingers. You know why? Because you're used to your fingers. Your fingers will help you spread it around a bit. I like to add a little bit to the plate so you know what's going on underneath. Now you put your eggs on. Place your eggs in there. Nestle them. You gotta work quickly on this because bennies get cold really easily. We got our nice fucking lime champagne hollandaise here. Right in the center like that, cascade down those little chicken treasures. You don't want to coat the whole thing, you want to be able to see the other elements of the dish. Those little egg titties there. An extra hollandaise, depending on the size of the date. Take some chives, I got some extra chives here, so we're just gonna do this. Like that, beautiful, right? I have some nice watercress here. If it looks good, put it on the plate. If it's wilty, don't put it on the plate. There we go. Throw your apple fan on, right there, like so. Now remember that little zest that we were doing earlier? A little bit. Now remember, this adds flavor, so you don't want to go overboard with the zest. A little bit extra. Add a bit of the yellowness. Voila, these are ready to serve. Now you've just made friends with bennies. And now for my favorite part, I get to sit down and enjoy this lovely dish with my beautiful date. It's on their way. I think that maybe they got caught up in traffic or something. I haven't heard a text back. They'll be here. They'll be here. It's cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat and see how this tastes. So there's obviously enough hollandaise on here, but just in case, brought some extra little ollie holly on here, you know what I mean? That's just gonna add that extra little chunk to my gut. And I'll wait to see if she would like some more on hers. So let's check it out. Let's fuck up this apple thing right away. All right, nice. I wanna get a nice bite of everything. Get a bit of the mango in there, get a bit of the yolk. Oh, fuck! So I made this meal on like no money at all basic shit you can buy from any store, really. It doesn't take too long. There's lots of shortcuts. I took my time with it. Hopefully you try it at home. Add in the comment section below if you want to see me cook something on the next episode. This has been a good morning, handsome. I'm Oliver Ray Alleron. That's it.